Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wealthy Lala Show with myself, Laurie Larson. Today is episode 237. Yeah, it's kind of gloomy here today. Just overcast. I don't know. I wonder. I see some blue peeking out. I wonder what the rest of the day will be like. What's it like where you guys are? Did you guys have a great weekend? For those of you in Canada, I did end up watching the parade. If you guys listened to yesterday's show and you're sitting on the edge of your seats wondering, did Laurie go to the parade or not? Well, I did, believe it or not. Do you know, it was so cool. My husband did end up getting a parking spot just 2 away from the street. Not sure how well I would have seen when I would have actually when we sat there, because we actually didn't end up sitting there. Because what was kind of cool was the couple we were with, the fella needed to sit down too, and he also did not have a lawn chair. And on the other side of the street was a what do you call that? I don't know, like a ledge along the sidewalk, where they had like a raised little wall, and so you could sit on it. So it worked out great. I didn't have to worry about sitting in the car, got to sit up close. And yeah, I just love that. I just love that when I know, when I get stuck in an either or, it's going to be this way or that way, or only this way or that way, or it can be only this way or not at all. And then I allow myself to be in question, it can totally change what the outcome ends up being. It's just like it invites possibilities in, and the universe opens up, and the next thing something shows up that you didn't even know. Like we walked up there expecting to sit around the car, and in the meantime I get a text from the other couple saying, hey, we're sitting across the street here, there's this ledge we can sit on. And the funny thing is too, on top of that, we did end up having this almost like a tripod kind of lawn chair in our car. Like seriously. So not only did it become like more than like just one possibility of the chair or sitting in the car on the second row, or we end up sitting on this ledge. So yeah, I'm so grateful actually for things like that, because I have to really remind myself sometimes to that there is possibilities beyond possibilities beyond possibilities that I necessarily cannot even see. And but the universe does. And so when we allow ourselves to trust, yep, that's just how she goes. So one of the things I wanted to look at, what I tell you, some people really give Facebook a bad name or bad rap. As I've said before, I've filtered it so that I enjoy my experience when I go on there. And I'll have certain groups that I like where I have them like set up as to automatically when they post, I see them first. So I really choose my experience. Now that's really interesting to really hear myself say that. Because I'm actually getting to see where I've chose that on Facebook, where where it's just easier to see than choosing in life in different situations, like it's like, no, here I'm at the effect of, my boss or my job or my body or something like that. And yet here I'm seeing where with something like Facebook, I'm actually choosing my experience. Well, I wonder how much I can also choose in my own experience in other areas of my life. So so there's this hackspirit.com. I really enjoy a lot of the articles that this Lachlan Brown writes. And so this one popped up on Facebook for me this morning, and it's why grit is a predictor of success. And it's really interesting because in reading his article, what he talks about is more grit than hard work. that ends up being a predictor for success. So he says, what's the secret to success? It's a question we've all asked ourselves. Most of us search for shortcuts. But unfortunately, according to expert psychologist Angela Lee Duckworth, who for 10 years studies what makes someone successful, shortcuts to success don't exist. In fact, her extensive research suggests that the predictor of success is grit. Yep, our ability to stick with something when it's not working out. Surprised? If you think that answer is too simple, ask yourself this question. When was the last time you didn't follow through on something because it got too hard? Okay, or because you didn't know the next steps, or because you didn't have the answers you were looking for? There's your answer. Sometimes we give up too easily. We've been conditioned to believe that life should be easy and we shouldn't have to work for the things we want. But Duckworth points out that success is not about hard work. It's about consistent work. See, isn't that great? Like, I don't know about you guys, but even just hearing that changes the energy of, choosing something. It's consistent. It doesn't have to be hard. Like, how many of us know that there's actually a lie within that makes it feel heavy when we say, life is hard work and you got to work hard to be able to get what you want? No, what if it's actually you have to work consistently? That is so freaking cool. Oh my God. I am so glad I'm reading this. Like, seriously, people. So you don't need to work any harder than anyone else to find your version of success. You just have to keep looking. So to me, it sounds like the persistence, the consistency. So she actually has a riveting TED Talk here and prepared to be inspired. So I think this is definitely something I am going to listen to after. So if you're someone who longs for success but can't seem to find your footing, try these 5 simple things to keep you going when the motivation is low. I think I'm going to print these out. And the pressure is high. Okay, so these are things to keep you going when the motivation is low and the pressure is high. So in other words, do these things when the shit is hitting the fan and you'll find more success than you ever thought possible. Okay, so 5 simple ways to boost grit. So number 1, focus on positive self-talk. Yes, we've all heard this one before, but have you actually tried to talk to yourself through a crappy situation? Have you been curious about what could happen if you just kept going through the tough times instead of giving up? Try it. You might be surprised to find that a fake it till you make it mentality goes a long way when you're on the verge of quitting. How's it get any better? So number 2, find people who are also searching for success and stick with them. 2, 3, 4 heads are better than one, and you can lean on each other for advice and support. If someone is watching, you're less likely to quit. That's why we plaster our social media with goals and ideas. We know that telling the world will help us keep us accountable. The truth is that the only person we need to be accountable to is ourselves, and no one knows better than someone who has found some semblance of success. So find those people and hang out with them more. Look around at, who you're hanging out with, and does it support what you desire to create in your life, okay? Number 3, be focused on your goal, but don't be attached to the path that leads you there. So this is a vital mistake that many people make. When people make plans, they tend to focus on the how of the plan instead of the what. And when you focus on the how, you stop yourself from moving forward. I also know too that when you focus on the how, it's almost like trying to control, or it's a way to not choose, because sometimes the how is not actually revealed until we just start choosing something. So it was like me with the how wasn't revealed on what I was going to sit on exactly. So it might have been obvious, like a chair, but like I didn't know the how with regards to where and how I was going to sit for the parade. But in choosing something, just in choosing to consider the possibility of buying a chair, considering the possibility of sitting with the car, it allowed more the how to be opened up. And sometimes, like as was sitting on the ledge, it surprises and delights us. So, and we don't know there's a wall there. We don't know if we've never been there before, but the universe does. So, if we focus on the what and allow ourselves to be open to how we get there, multiple opportunities, haha, and pathways open up for us. When we are laser focused on getting to the finish line, we often miss out on alternative routes. So be open-minded about how you define your success and how you find it. Take baby steps. Everyone hits the ground running. Oh my God. Who wants everything yesterday? Me, 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 me. Oh God, totally. So everyone hits the ground running, and within days and weeks, ideas and motivations fizzle out. Don't let that happen. Set yourself up for success from the start by working towards smaller goals that help contribute to the larger goal you're after. Sure, this takes more time, but it's time well spent to help you figure out those paths we were just talking about, like the many different ones. Plus, you won't be overwhelmed. Make sure to take time to celebrate. So, number 5, make sure you take time to celebrate the wins you have on a regular basis. Um, whoa, thought I was going to drop something here. Don't get lost in the process. Be sure to reflect on what has happened and what you've learned and how you can apply on what you've learned. People who do this on a regular basis are always getting better in their craft and their work, and they're people who find success. So stick with it. If you're feeling, oh no, and then it just talks about a book that you can actually buy. Anyways, like this is what I really noticed even too. I've noticed on this whole journey of, since I got, say, diagnosed, years ago, since I've been on this journey of trying different modalities, different things. If I didn't begin to stick in the acknowledgement or gratitude of myself, like the acknowledgement of what has changed, so even if, like, say my knee is 5% better than it was yesterday, or I find that, 2 weeks ago when my knee was sore, like I would be distraught, discouraged, a puddle of crying on the couch, okay? Whereas now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, you know what? This hurts. I'm going to sit down, and I actually do this. I really do. I actually sit down and I'll be like, okay, so truth, body, would you like to go to the doctor? Does it create greater to go to the doctor? Is there something a doctor, my family doctor, can contribute right now? And then I'll go, yes, no, and then see what's light. Body, would you like to take a painkiller? Would that create greater for right now? Okay, yes, no. And I'll again see what's light. Is it time to phone a friend? And even today, like, yes, I know, blah, 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 my knee's sore. I'm asking these questions, and I'm getting, and like, even when I say that, like, I get, we so quickly want things over with that we don't get to really find out what's going on. And so, when I just did that to myself, that's actually it is an unkindness to be like, yeah, my knee's sore, blah, 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 shut up, Laurie. No, but it actually is. And I'm dealing with it. So, and I'm dealing with it, and I'm asking questions, and I'm staying present with it, way more present than I ever did before. It's created a lot in my world about staying present with myself. Like, how many of you, as a baby, if you've got a baby in your life or a little one, and they're crying, do you like, shut up, you little dummy? Like that's kind of what I just did with myself. So it's interesting that, see, I've been doing this work and that thread will still come up. And sometimes too, it could be an awareness that I'm hearing something in someone else's world. So, I could be aware of other people in my world who would say that to me or have said that to me or it's something. But either way, it's something that's like, okay, is that actually true for me? Just be quiet about it, Laurie. Just get on with the show. No, actually, this is my reality right now. I'm taking care of me, and I'm taking care of that fussy, crying, unhappy, baby that's got something to say right now. And I use the painkiller. I use the asking questions. I'll put some essential oils on it. I'll put some creams on it. And I really do, I am choosing more and more to be in question with it. And if my body wants to go to the doctor, I will go. And, so just if you've got something like that going on in your life, like really allow yourself to have the grit that this fella talks about in this article and the stick withedness to stay with you. Okay. Focusing on your positive self-talk. Find people who are also searching for success and stick with them. Be focused on your goal, but don't be attached to the path that gets you there. Take baby steps. Oh man, don't we all want it yesterday? And make sure to take time to celebrate and acknowledge you and your wins on as much as you can. So, on that note, you guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Big hugs. I'm inviting in a little more grit today. Okay. And thanks again for listening.